we did it very good implementing our factories, but of course we have to use that factories directly in the database seeder in order to insert data in our database through the factories. So let's go again to our code, and we need to go directly to the database seeder. In the database seeder, we need to issue all the code to be executed during the database seeding. So it is very important to be sure that every time the seedings or the database seeder is executed, we restart the database to the original status. It means we are going to empty all the tables, and we can do that using the truncate method in every one of our models or tables. So let's start with this. Remember to import the definitions. And finally, we need to truncate additionally the pivot table, but the pivot table doesn't have a model, so we need to access directly the table using the DB facade. Let's import the definition of DB. So now we are truncating our tables, but remember that our tables has foreign keys between them. So we need to disable temporarily only for the database seeder the foreign key checks. So we need to execute a database statement directly. With this, the database seeder is going to verify the foreign keys at the moment of truncate. Now, let's define some variables to specify how much users, categories, products, and transactions we are going to create. So we are going to create 200 users, 30 categories, 1000 products, and 1000 of transactions. So let's use now the factories to create the required quantity of this. To use a factory, we can use the factory helper, specifying the class model to use and the quantity. We need to use the create method in order to store that information into the database. Then we are going to have a factory for categories as well. For transactions and for products. So now the product factory has a little detail because for every product that we create, we need to associate the category for this. And we are going to do that randomly. What we are going to do is to assign randomly from 1 to 5 possible categories to a product. So for this, we need to execute a function for each specific product that we are creating in the factory. So now this function is going to receive every specific product, and we need to do some stuff with every one of them. First, we are going to obtain randomly from 1 to 5 categories from the list of all the categories. So we need randomly again from 1 to 5 categories. It means we have random categories and random number of categories to assign for every product. Then we have a collection with several categories, but we only need the ID for every of those categories. So for that, we are going to use the plug method for the Laravel categories. After that, we have already from 1 to 5 IDs of categories, and we just need to attach that categories for every specific project. The attach method receives an array with all the categories. It means with all the IDs of the categories that we are going to associate with that specific project. Now, at this point, we finally have completely implemented the database seeder, and we can insert data into our database. In the next class, we are going to see how to do that using PHP artisan comments and to solve a little interesting detail that we have related with the seller and buyer model. So, see you in the next class.